Okay, hello world. Welcome to Football Anonymous, an uncensored take on the NFL. I'm Chris Maitland.
Well, way to say it with such just enthusiasm.
Okay.
Just get everybody hyped up.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know, Johnny.
Welcome to the first edition of Football Anonymous. My name is Carson the Hammer Clark. This is Donald, Asshead Legit, John the Human Tank Naggard, and Chris Skinny Fingers Maitland.
Yes. That was. I love the elaborate nicknames.
We are football analysts. Professional.
Yep.
We're paid.
We're better than
Very much
better
paid.
than Skip Bayless.
Definitely not 4 kids in a fucking side room in Massachusetts.
Watching hockey.
Yeah, we got hockey on in the background, which is great for football purposes.
All right.
Okay.
This isn't football, Chris.
I know. This is
So if you haven't left yet,
if you're still sucking around after that magnificent intro, we're actually going to get down to business now. The first order of business is the biggest story in football the past few weeks has been the sudden release of DeSean Jackson from the Philadelphia Eagles. After the best season of his entire career, he gets dumped by the Eagles, and he signed with the Redskins shortly afterwards. So, my question for you, fine gentlemen, is, was releasing DeSean Jackson a mistake for the Eagles, and what impact will he make on the Redskins? Let's start with Carson over here.
I think they released him because Aaron Hernandez and that whole incident last year. There's rumors of gang activity.
Yes, I don't know if I buy that.
Still it doesn't matter.
Storage
Dude.
is sketchy.
They're not trying to create that stigma about their team. Chip Kelly wants his team to be his team, and if that takes cutting a star receiver to prove his point, he's going to do that because that's how he lives his life.
See, I mean, since the gang ties were sketchy and they really weren't there, personally, I would not have cut him. I mean,
the way it's turning out to be is that they were his childhood friends that just happened to.
He signed on his record label. He has some gang member signed to his record label because he has like a bum hip hop label.
I'm sure there's about 1 million other football players that
have some kind of
exactly. Almost every player in the league pretty much hangs out with that.
Ray Lewis did kill 2 people.
Yeah,
allegedly he got into a brawl. Ray Lewis didn't kill anyone.
Ray Lewis didn't
it was the deer antler spray.
Yeah,
that was a joke. I mean, it's. I think the Eagles just wanted to get rid of him, and I feel like it didn't really matter. There was clearly some sort of suspicion that gave them the idea of gang activity, and that just might have been enough to then give them an excuse to do it. You know what I mean?
He doesn't. I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't fit in with Chip Kelly doesn't like him.
Chip Kelly turned out to be better for the team, but right now it just looks dumb.
But I mean, if you're DeSean Jackson, best season of his career. He's fast as shit. He fit in with Chip Kelly's offense perfectly.
Had a nice
Plus, Philly just paid Riley Cooper a ton of money.
Yeah.
Coming off his first good season,
Cooper,
and Jeremy Macklin's coming off an Achilles injury, so it is under a 1-year deal. So you got Macklin coming off of an injury, and Riley Cooper who had 1 good season. I mean, why would you cut a top 15 talent for a wide receiver, in my opinion?
And they overpaid the shit out of Riley Cooper. That contract.
It was a huge number. It was a giant number, and he had 1 good season. Riley the racist Cooper getting a big contract. I don't know why, but
I think it's that the whole racist thing was kind of a joke.
It was fucking stupid, but
he did threaten.
He did at a Kenny Chesney concert
to beat the hell out of a lot of black people.
Yeah, I think by black people he just meant giant group of people.
I think he meant the one.
I think he was just being an idiot. I don't think there's too many black people at a Kenny Chesney concert, Carson. So I will double down.
I'm going to agree with Johnny on that, but yes, DeSean Jackson. I personally, I
disagree.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake.
Cowboy Troy might have been there. You never know.
Cowboy Troy. It's true.
There he is.
Cowboy Troy.
What's sad about it is that he landed with the Redskins.
All right, so what do you think? What do you think Jackson will do for the Redskins offense?
Absolutely nothing, because Robert Griffin III is going to blow out both his knees in the second preseason.
See, I don't know.
Griffin can pass.
This is the make or break year for Griffin. If he can't get anything done with DeSean Jackson as a number 2 receiver, then he's screwed.
I think they're looking pretty nice with Garcon
and Jackson. I think could make it really nice. You see, Andre Roberts went on a tandem about how he was pissed off. He was promised the number 2 receiver position, and they signed DeSean Jackson. He's whining. He released some statement yesterday.
Prove it.
Yeah,
Andre Roberts is a mediocre receiver. I'm sorry.
I'm going to make this call right now.
Stop
The
whining.
Redskins
prove yourself. Prove that you need it.
What does the coaching staff look like right now? Did they fire Mike Shanahan?
Yeah, Jay Gruden's the coach.
And did they fire the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan.
They're both gone.
Yeah, they're both gone.
And who's the offensive coordinator?
not off the top
You
of
think
my
you could
head.
look that up? Real
Yeah,
quick?
I can. I can.
Just while we're looking that up, I mean, with the right offensive coordinator, and I don't even know who that may be, but if they find somebody that has a plan for them, they could be a top 5 offense.
They need a lot more
very
pieces
easily.
than another receiver.
With that running game, though, dude.
Their running game is promising.
They've had a top 5 running game for the last 2 years.
Alvin Morris is the most underrated running back in the NFL.
Exactly.
I was going to say that right now.
All their chips are on.
Their defense is terrible. Their defense is terrible.
Can stay healthy, and DeSean Jackson can be 80% of what he was last year.
Sean Taylor.
Yeah, exactly. If Sean's,
it'd be.
Didn't they have major injuries in their linebacking core?
Their offensive coordinator is Sean McVay, who was he was the tight ends coach for the past 3 years of the Redskins. So,
all right, well, so that's not
no offensive coordinator experience. I mean,
right.
You never know.
You never know. That's exactly the type of person I'm talking about. You might need to bring in and have a new. Jay
Gruden led a very strong offense in Cincinnati the past few years. I mean, he milked a not the most talented offense. I mean, led them to 3 straight playoff bursts. I mean, we all know what happened when they got there and he Dalton choked. Right. But they've had a pretty productive offense in the past 3 years. So Gruden clearly knows what he's doing. It's going to depend on how Griffin can get back.
I'm not worried about him.
I think
Shanahan didn't play him to his extent that he could. I think that knee brace really friggin' bothered him, man, and it's. I don't think he was comfortable at all last season in any standpoint at all because
he was rattled.
They were telling him not to run, dude.
No, he was rattled because of that.
To get hurt. No, you have to play the game.
I think
the way it's played.
Now that he's coming back healthy, exactly. I completely agree with you. Now that he's come back healthy, I think that he'll be fine. I mean, he needs his line to play well because besides Trent Williams, their line's a mess.
Yeah,
and he has an anchor left tackle, but he really does not have anyone else.
Isn't their secondary
Their secondary is a mess.
They're really based on running the ball.
D'Angelo Hall is good.
He's getting up there.
But he still played really well. I mean,
but he's not like a top tier.
See, I think he is actually. I think he's a top tier. I seriously do. I think their safety play is fucking horrendous.
They signed Brandon Merriweather,
which is ridiculous.
Easily the worst safety.
Brandon Merriweather is one of the worst safeties.
Ryan Clark.
Yeah, they signed Ryan Clark, who's 33, 34. I mean, he's getting up there. Their defense is a mess.
I don't think is he that old.
He's
old. I don't know. I liked that signing.
What pick do they have? What pick do they have in the draft?
They don't pick till the second round because they trade. Because in the Griffin trade, the Rams have their pick.
They don't have a first round pick.
They don't have a first round again for the second straight year. So now they'll have a first round pick next year. They have a good pass rush. I mean, Brian Orakpo and Ryan Kerrigan, they're responsible for a good pass rush. Other than that, their defense is a mess. So I don't know. DeSean Jackson will certainly be a step in the right direction for them, but we'll have to wait and see.
They have.
It's a step.
Their defense needs to be picked.
Their defense.
Brian Orakpo needs to stay healthy. All those guys need to stay healthy.
Adam Kerrigan's pretty good.
Yeah, no, Kerrigan's really good.
Ryan Kerrigan. He is very good. He is very good. Adam Kerrigan. Yeah, they actually just released him. Adam Kerrigan.
I'm gonna go off the beaten path. I think we should steer this discussion to how the Steelers' defense has not changed in. I don't even know how long.
I think we should say how Troy Polamalu maybe is probably done because I saw him last year and that was easily the worst. I think he was literally easily the worst year he's ever had.
I don't know. I think last year was a redemption year for Polamalu. Yeah, he absolutely did. He friggin' jumped the line week 1 and Polamalu showed he was ageless though last year. He played that was the best year he's had in the past 3 seasons.
Every Steelers game I watched, he got blown past.
If you think about it,
Ike Taylor was getting blown. Not Polamalu.
Was Polamalu putting the whole defense on his back?
No.
I didn't like.
He's in his early 30s. I mean,
no, but was he still the shining star of that defense?
Yeah,
exactly.
He absolutely was.
That's really hard to do.
Well, yeah, but there isn't anybody else that could be that person either anymore.
True.
Their
defense. They don't not watch football for the past 5
Pittsburgh
years
has a lot of
recognize the Steelers' defense.
Yeah. Well, now Lamar Woodley's gone, and Brett Kiesel's gone too. James Harrison left last year.
Yeah,
Brett Kiesel's gone this year. Lamar Woodley's gone. So the's going to be a few new faces in Pittsburgh.
A few, yeah. No, there's going to be
a few new faces.
I think the Steelers are going to be terrible this year. What are they doing? Well, they still don't have any wide receivers.
Hey man, they got Darius Hayward-Bay.
I mean,
they got Darius Hayward-Bay.
Le'Veon Bell.
They got Mike Tomlin tripping people.
No, Garrett Blunt's going to be the starting running back there.
No, he's not. Le'Veon Bell's going to be. They put way too much stock in Le'Veon Bell.
I bet you money that LeGarrette Blunt gets more carries than Le'Veon Bell.
No.
I feel they signed him for a decent amount of money.
Yeah, but as a two-back,
backup.
No,
you can't make that guarantee, John. No one's played anything yet.
I know, but I feel by the time
Le'Veon Bell showed a lot of promise. They put a lot of stock in Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, dude, I go out on limbs here.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I'll hold to it.
Okay. All right. When it comes down, when it gets down, yeah, I will remember that too. This is it's recorded. It's recorded. We have it on
Until the
tape.
viewers call in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Seriously,
And
we should set up somehow where people can call in. We'll put them on speaker.
Calls would be pretty fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, because
Okay.
Lord knows we love talking to
Get a
people.
show at WMWM.
The only problem is that the
You need to be like a major.
yeah. Well, no, it's there's a.
This year wasn't a communications major.
Well, yeah, you don't even. Anybody can do it. It's just like it's a pain. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get it done.
We
There
should,
really is.
time slot.
A lot of people do it, so it's damn near impossible to get a time slot because so many people do it.
We should stay on
But
topic here.
all right, we're gonna stay on topic. All right, we're gonna move on.
That'll be it.
We are gonna move on for the second topic here. Chris Johnson, longtime Tennessee Titans running back, was officially released on Monday.
Beast mode.
So my question,
That's
the Bruins score, guys, watch out. So my question for you guys is, what team do you think is going to end up with the legendary CJ2K?
God.
CJ2K. I always call him
Come on,
C2J
man.
because I fuck it up because I'm stupid, but
Wow.
CJ2K.
It's a good self-esteem.
I know. I love myself. But who do you think is going to end up with the elusive CJ2K?
Elusive.
Yes, the
What
elusive.
a word to describe Chris Johnson.
I'm gonna say them.
Arizona.
Arizona? Are
I
you
could see them
serious?
not
I would like. Are you joking or are you being serious? Can you further elaborate on that?
Why not?
Who's Arizona's
Why not
quarterback?
Arizona?
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer.
Oh boy.
I know.
Because they put too much stock in Andre Ellington.
Yeah.
They did. They are.
They are
sold.
really. Bruce
They're sold
Arians
on
has
him.
finally come around to Andre Ellington. He's like, we're really gonna.
It's gonna be the Bills.
Why? They have Fred Jackson and CJ
Alright,
Spiller.
They're gonna cut Fred
Mr.
Jackson.
Shut down the
Yeah,
idea.
I'm gonna shut down the
You're right,
idea.
dude.
Yeah.
CJ Spiller.
New York
how,
Jets.
Like, how
Yeah.
big
I
of
think
a
he's going- I
disappointment
think
could
he's-
he possibly
I
be?
could actually see.
I think he's going to the Jets because the Jets
Jets-
last year they had a 9th-ranked offense with Chris Ivory and Bilal Powell, but you cannot rely on those two to run your running
You
game.
can't-
Ivory gets
you can't
hurt
cut
all
out
the
the
time.
Raiders.
Dude, the only person who even this is an easy question because nobody else has the money to sign Chris Johnson because Chris Johnson's still going to want some sort of money because
He
technically on
thinks he's a
paper last
quarterback,
year
The
he was
Raiders.
not bad
He
last
didn't.
year.
He didn't put
So
up.
there's two
Davis's
chances.
Al Davis's ghost will sign him for
Yeah.
$50 million.
Yeah, exactly.
They have-
There's
but they have
literally
Jones
two
Drew,
places he
though.
could go. They could. He's not going to go to the Raiders. There's literally there's like a 90% chance he's going to end up with the Jets. Literally nobody else can sign him. Nobody else has any money. Dude.
Ready?
Like,
Falcons.
They've been
Really?
they've been talked about. Well, I mean, Steven Jackson looked terrible last year.
yeah,
Exactly.
he did.
And
Yep. he
They need
I was high on him
fucked
last
me
year.
so
over.
was
too.
I. So was I. I think a lot of people were.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, I didn't make the
I'm
mistake of
not
drafting.
Falcons though. Anyways, like as a team.
I don't like the Falcons as a team. Just
No, I
seeing what
really
they
don't.
did. They're
Just-
like the Houston Texans. That you could be like an elite team and then just fall.
Yeah.
Injuries.
I
It was
see the same
injuries.
thing.
It was injuries
It
with
was
Atlanta.
injuries, but I mean, come on. I mean,
Their defense is terrible.
their defense
You get
was terrible.
you get
but
Roddy White back at
then
100%.
fix it. They haven't signed anybody. They lost.
They
the
got
safety.
they got Paul Soliai
Yeah.
and
they lost their starting
Yeah,
safety.
he's pretty tough, dude. He's a hard-nosed player. Also, yeah.
Soliai.
They don't have any
Miami's
corners.
gonna
I don't
miss
think,
him.
anymore.
They are, yeah. And
Miami has some corners. I was looking at. They signed
Yeah,
Who did
Paul
they sign?
Solia as a defensive
Brent
tackle.
Grimes. I know.
Well, they had Grimes last year. Grimes was
They
elite
re-signed
last
him,
year.
though.
Yeah, they did resign, which was a great move because Brent Grimes was
and they
elite
have
last
another
season.
one too. They signed another good cornerback. I forget who they signed.
Because they dumped like half their secondary.
Yeah.
Like Dimitri Patterson's on the Jets now.
Yep. No, but they're definitely like actually trying to compete to some extent with the Patriots in the AFC East.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, isn't every team?
everybody
No.
is.
It's
No,
few
I
and
don't
far
think so.
between.
Yeah,
But I
but
really don't think that the Bills are putting any effort into it.
I
Like,
don't think that. I
I don't
disagree
think
with
they're
that.
trying to.
They have all.
Very
The Jets
ridiculous
always is-
opinion, John,
Yeah.
because these are NFL teams and their business is run off of winning and succeeding.
Yeah.
If-
but the
So
Bills-
they're trying to win and succeed. Like that's
if they're trying
If
to
it is- maybe they should-
now,
if
yeah,
your
no,
players
overall,
aren't
no, they're
playing the
trying
game to win, then they shouldn't be on your
I'm
team.
saying they're playing the game to win, but the best players win. The
Oh.
better players normally win.
When Bon Jovi owns the
Yeah,
Bills, they go.
that's-
I'm just
to
saying they're
Bills
trying to. I'm not saying they're not
the
trying to
Bills
win.
signed
I'm saying they're not
Mario
trying to
The
win
Bills,
right now.
the Bills,
I'm saying they're
Little
not
known
trying
fact-
to.
Kiko
They're
Alonso.
not
Kiko Alonso is excellent. They have a great nucleus of players. They have a lot of guys. They just need more offensive weapons. To
They
be
don't have
honest
a
with you.
quarterback.
They
EJ
really
Manuel, there's something
They don't
there.
have a
There's something
quarterback.
there.
That damn Mark Barone.
I'd
There's-
rather have Geno Smith than EJ.
I disagree with that. I think EJ Manuel's got something. I don't think he's spectacular, but I think there's something to develop there. I mean,
No, of course, no. I agree. I see what you're saying.
Every team's trying to win.
Can't throw.
Everyone's trying to win, but not right now, dude. Not every team is trying to win.
Buffalo, if you look at, if they can pick up.
Buffalo's been rebuilding since the early 90s.
So hasn't Cleveland, but they're still rebuilding.
Cleveland has been a team since like 1998.
They came back. They had one good season in like 2000, in the mid 2000s with Derek Anderson at quarterback. They went 10-6, and they just missed the playoffs. But other than that, they've been a joke since their rebirth. I don't know. But back to Chris Johnson, I think he's going to the Jets. I mean, they like you said, they have the money. They have a need because despite finishing in the top 10 in rushing offense last year, Chris Ivory and Bilal Powell are not going to anchor your team again. You can't rely on those guys.
You think C2J will?
Yeah, compared to Chris Ivory and Powell, absolutely. He's got something left in the tank. He has something left in the tank.
I don't know about that, dude. Like that's it's extremely hit or miss. So would you rather take 4 yards per carry with Chris Ivory? Or would you rather take the risk of taking a 3 with Chris
line? How are they?
Yeah, the Jets are a pretty decent line.
It's all right, but
Ferguson's a solid tackle. They have some uncertainty on the other side because they lost Austin Howard went to the Raiders. Now they have Brino Giacomini from the Seahawks.
Just watching C2J's last
Brino
year, he had trouble finding gaps.
That's
CJ2K.
Yeah.
Not C2J.
Yeah.
CJ2K.
Yeah, CJ2K.
His name is Chris Johnson.
Yes, his name is Chris Johnson. That is true. But I don't know. I believe in Chris Johnson to an extent. I will say his vision is terrible, and he needs to be more intelligent with his running. But I think part of that was Tennessee's terrible offensive line.
He's not a great pass blocker either.
Yeah, that's because he's
Tennessee
small.
did have an terrible offensive line.
Maurice Jones-Drew's small, and he smashed Sean Merriman.
That's a good point.
I think Maurice Jones-Drew's contract was I think that was so far legitimately. I liked the contract that they signed the Raiders. All right,
that's a beautiful transition to our next topic.
Yeah.
Okay. It took a long time for running backs to start coming off the board in this free agency class. It was Darren McFadden got signed the first day randomly, but other than that, Rashad Jennings signed with the Giants.
Are not a very
Rashad Jennings signed with the Giants, but it took about a month into free agency before you started seeing guys like Ben Tate coming off the board. And then it was basically all got signed at once, like Garrett Blunt, Maurice Jones-Drew, No Sean Moreno. They all got signed at once. So my question for you, lads, is the lack of interest in this running back class during free agency due to the running backs playing less a role in the game, or is this just a terrible running back class?
Combination of both.
I just think the day of the workhorse back has died, and people are just very skeptical to give money to a running back when they're taking so many hits on a daily basis.
I feel like a running quarterback has more stock than a running back nowadays.
I feel like a running back is just turning into another wide receiver slot, but they're just coming out of the backfield. People just use it as a mismatch and have them up against a linebacker. That's why it's so important to have a cover linebacker now, because you need somebody to cover the running back who's just another wide receiver. So I think that you're going to see the running go down, obviously. I mean, with all these short passes,
it has.
I think it's going to go in like a...
I heard this incredible. No one averaged 20 carries a game last season. The highest was Peterson, which was about 19 carries, which is
unless you're
ridiculous.
Adrian Peterson, you know what I mean? Like, unless you're really a really talented running back, you're not going to get over like 1,000 yards, 1,200 yards. Because
linemen and linebackers are all getting bigger, so it's just it's only getting harder to run.
Getting bigger, faster,
stronger.
quicker,
So
everything.
The running game is it's dissipating.
Exactly.
It has, yeah. I agree. I think it's honestly a combination of the two. I think the running backs are getting a lesser role but at the same time, are any of these backs that are on the market really that elite? Jones-Drew was elite a few years ago.
Ben Tate.
Ben Tate, I think is the catch of this, because he's never been a featured back before.
Yeah.
And I think that he showed enough flashes of promise.
I think he's definitely got some upside. I don't know what he could do in Cleveland.
Cleveland has a good line. They have the tools to.
Oh no! See, I like Cleveland. They haven't done that bad. I mean, they definitely have some. They definitely have a whole bunch of upside on that team. I mean, other than they really need to find a quarterback.
They desperately needed a running back on top of that. And I think Tate will certainly help out.
I love them trading Trent Richardson. It was a great move.
Yeah. At the time, I thought it was idiotic, but it ended up being great.
Oh no! It was great, dude. It was more than great. It was perfect.
It was absolute genius in retrospect.
I like the Cleveland Browns going forward just off those moves, the people they've signed for the contracts they've signed, and trading that pick.
I don't like the Carlos Dansby signing at all, though.
See, I do like him. I like Carlos Dansby.
He had a great year in Arizona last year, but I think it was part of the fact
people he's playing around. Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu,
Daryl Washington, Calais Campbell,
dude,
Darnell Dockett.
He definitely was on the defense, but he was definitely part of that.
When you have players like that, that's only going to make you better. And on Cleveland,
I'm going to give you that.
But
he's not. He's older. He's on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
I think they would have been better keeping DeQuell Jackson.
I don't know why.
I love DeQuell Jackson. I think he was one of the best, tackling, playmaking, most solid middle linebackers in the league.
That you're going to get, exactly. I don't know. Indianapolis got him for a steal on top of that. That was a brilliant move by Indianapolis.
Definitely. All right, I love Indianapolis.
I think Carlos Dansby's going to be half as good.
In terms of running back, I will say one thing that surprised me with the running backs this year is how low Sean Moreno's contract was. See, I think that, honestly, he's not. I don't think he was the best running back available. I think that was Ben Tate, but I think the most intelligent signing of this was Sean Moreno for Miami. They only signed him to a 1-year contract.
That was the best.
Because Moreno, and God knows, poor Ryan Tannehill got hit so fucking much last season. And Moreno is one of the best blocking running backs in the league. His pass protection skills are excellent.
I really hope that that's what they signed him for, because with Miami's line, he's not going to be able to run.
They need someone there. But Daniel Thomas is DOA. Lamar Miller has something there, but he has
a lot of questions. He doesn't have anything else.
Signed Brandon Albert.
Yeah, but Albert is in the decline, in my opinion. He didn't look that good last
Tyson
year.
Clabo.
I will give you that. He's also better than Incognito or Martin. I know Incognito played guard, but Jonathan Martin was a terrible tackle. I'm not gonna plow that field because I don't really want to fucking talk about that. But
that was the dumbest.
He was a terrible offensive lineman. He's a terrible offensive lineman, Jonathan Martin. I'm sorry. I think he's a very bad. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt his feelings, but I think he's a terrible lineman.
He's just not skilled.
Stop it! You're bullying.
No. Stop it. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
All right. That's definitely. I think the Dolphins are the only team that we should even be considered a threat to the Patriots.
Tannehill needs to play well in order for him not to get any more flack.
Well, he didn't even
gets
have
so
a chance
much
last
shit.
year.
He don't know.
But
this
shit.
He really got better last year. If you look at his numbers were dramatically improved. I was confused. I was on the NFL Network yesterday. It was is this year a make or break season for Ryan Tannehill? I'm like, absolutely not. No. He's played well enough. Miami went 8-8 last year.
He has a nice arm.
Who's that tight end they got? Clay.
Charles Clay. It was his first year playing tight end. He's very good.
He's normally a fullback.
Yeah, he's a converted fullback, and he did a very good job.
I love that. He has nice hands.
He's got great hands. Miami's a team of hands.
He's got beautiful hands.
He could freaking teach Mike Wallace a couple lessons how to catch a football.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I like Heartline too. They got some good things going on in Miami. They got a good defense.
Oh yeah, they got
pretty good defense.
They have definitely potential.
Brent Grimes is severely underrated at corner. They did lose Chris Clemens at safety, which is kind of an issue, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Miami's a team certainly on the upswing. I think.
Definitely.
Okay.
What do we got next?
Okay. The NFL at the owners' meeting this year decided to make a lot of cool kid rule changes, including banning the dunking after scoring a touchdown. You can't dunk anymore, and now they're trying an experiment, moving the extra points back to the 20-yard line.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Personally, I was laughing at the rationale that the extra point is boring. It's boring for the viewer. Most of the time, they don't even show the extra point.
Yeah,
if the touchdown's good enough, they're not going to show it. Also, secondly, if you don't have the attention span for an extra point, that's really
the only thing I think they did is they made every single extra point only be an extra point. No one's going to go from 2 from that far away.
I have a very strong opinion on
No, if you go for 2, you still go from the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
If you go for the extra point.
Yes, that is the...
If you go for the kick, it's from the 20.
I feel
there's no more
very
surprises.
Strongly. The banning of the dunk thing, I feel like this banning of the dunk thing, and I know it didn't end up going through, but when they were talking about these racist slurs on the field and you'd intentionally get penalized.
15 yards, that's ridiculous.
Which was a serious thing, but was completely, it goes hand in hand with them trying to make this game even more safe. They're trying to control everything on a field.
Yeah.
Because they don't trust the players to do what is technically right, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, well...
And, it goes hand in hand with the safety issue. It really does. You're trying to make a violent game safe, and it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And what the concussion...
want Jimmy Graham to rip out a field goal post.
Again, yeah.
It's just about celebration.
No, they're just mad that Graham unearthed the goalpost in Atlanta last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, now, that's dumb.
He's just a strong bastard.
Yeah, it's like we're sorry Jimmy Graham's a freak.
Put the fucking goalpost in more. If a 250-pound guy can just rip it out of the ground...
Get a new grounds crew at the Jordan.
Yeah, I know. Get the new Don't take away my celebration.
All the rule changes, I think, are just
It's a joke.
They're ridiculous.
They're just
They're
trying to
absolutely
control
ridiculous.
everything.
It's making the game even more dangerous, I think.
And I think the
The
extra
emphasis
point.
is on concussions, but now everyone's getting
torn ACLs.
Yeah.
Goodell's
because
he's awful.
People are aiming low.
And
So-
people aiming low. And there's two things though. I hate how they changed the kickoff last year. No one runs the ball back. That was one of the most exciting plays.
It's because
But it's
I
also
don't care about safety. That's
Yeah,
the whole
no, it's
point.
ridiculous.
It's
Runs
making
at each
it
other,
worse
that's the point.
because the team is closer, so they're just getting slammed.
And look at a
if they
team like the
decide to run.
Patriots. We have players to play special teams. It's what they do, and you're almost taking them out of the equation. That we were strong in the return game.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
So that
Patriots
was
are a great
a
return
plus
game.
we had, and now it's like taken away.
It's
from us.
taking-
At the rate it's going, they should just have
affiliated with the team, John.
Yeah.
they should just have people start.
He's just-
playing.
Patriots. No,
He's just
I know.
announcing his allegiance as a Patriots fan. Carson, why are you such an asshole?
Giving him a hard time.
Fuck you.
No, but I think the extra point being moved back to the 20-yard line was what might be one of the best things they did. They either needed to make the touchdown worth 7 points, or they needed to make the extra point worth something, because it's pointless. The extra point they had, like a
It's a chip
15-yard
shot.
field goal.
19-yard
If
kick, yeah, it's
anybody
not
can make
long.
that, I could have made that. You know what I mean? Like seriously,
It does.
Any one of us here could make
It does add. I mean, like I was just laughing at the rationale of the play is boring to the viewer at home.
Exactly.
I'm like, it takes 2 seconds. That's
People were
ridiculous.
talking about
During
moving
the
back to the 30 or the 40.
Oh, that's
now you're
absurd.
saying,
The 30
now
your
you're
best
taking away
player,
points.
one of the best players on your team is going to be a kicker, because you need to make those. You need to.
Yeah,
make
but
them.
I mean, like there's certain guys like Robbie Gould, Dan Bailey,
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. No, but I think
Matt
moving back
Prater,
to a
Justin
20,
Tucker wouldn't be
it
phased by
gives you
that.
a chance to miss it, and it gives them a chance to.
That is true. Yeah, it does give you.
Let's
Yeah,
make this a
it
serious
does.
thing. Earn your point. You know what I mean? If you're not going to get 7 right off the bat, then earn your point.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, I feel you on that one.
I don't hate it. I like it, but it's just like one of those things. Like
I don't really care that
It's
much.
not
I think
broke-
it's gonna
if
make
it's not
an impact
broken.
in the
Why
life.
fix it?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think it's going to make an impact. I think.
no, it is gonna make an impact, but it's just like
NFL's just
who
gonna
was sitting
get
there
rid.
thinking about this? Like, man, that shit's so boring.
I don't like how they're switching the game though. It's period. Whether I like the change or not, I don't like how they're switching.
Yeah,
the game, because the game's meant to be.
Goodell has been the worst thing to ever happen to the NFL.
Yeah,
Roger Goodell.
I think Roger Goodell. Is
Paul
the worst
Tagliabue.
commissioner-
Yeah, absolutely.
commissioner.
Paul Tagliabue is just face palming.
Look at how much money he makes.
It's absurd.
It's ridiculous.
And the only thing he's done is this whole like with the racial slur banning was simply because he did not know how to handle the situation in Miami. And they're going to be mediating locker rooms like crazy this year. And we're going to see fines. I mean, they're like probably fines like I mean like this is a league year, mind you, that's like fining $25,000 if you wear the friggin' wrong socks. So
Well, see, I understand like Goodell's standpoint on that whole Miami thing, but I hate Goodell more than anybody else. Who
but
is
the
it?
Miami-
Who is it? What was he supposed to say?
Yeah.
Like what was he? That's such a sensitive topic, and people have different opinions on it anyways. But the whole thing was seriously just like the dumbest joke I've ever seen.
basically,
Yeah. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, are we talking about grown adults or kids? And it's as simple as that.
yeah, I'm with you on that. It was just
I can't believe it.
both
I really
Incognito
can't.
and Martin were in the wrong. Let's face it. I mean, I don't really feel like going in. I mean,
the whole thing
it's
is
been beaten into
But
a
I mean,
pulp.
my point is
Yeah.
what was I hate Roger Goodell, but what is he supposed to say about that? You know what I mean? Like, oh, we'll make sure our players don't bully each other. Like, what
I mean,
is this, a fucking kindergarten class? You know what I'm saying?
It seems like it's an isolated incident in Miami. Every single team has been like,
Exactly.
this doesn't happen in our locker room, and I
Exactly.
sincerely
Why would
believe
your
that.
team's supposed to be
I
together?
sincerely
You know what I mean?
believe that. I don't think
Incognito's
that
a
type of
sick
business.
bastard.
He is a sick bastard. He is a sick bastard.
He is a sick bastard.
But like every other team, I mean, like they brought in like sociologists and like they like literally, and they were
Oh,
like
they
this,
went
and like
above and beyond.
they're-
It was
yeah,
all for show.
It was
If
ridiculous.
this happened at any one of our jobs, we'd be fired, and that'd be the end.
Yep,
of it.
Yeah,
that'd be
exactly. It's
There-
absurd.
There'd be nothing like that. It's just because they're fucking
And-
big babies on a big stage.
The accusations being tossed around were absurd as well. So, but
Vince outside.
I'm not looking forward to what Goodell is going to do.
Vince outside.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm not looking forward to what Goodell's going to do with these new rules. I guarantee you, he's going to start fining people for like locker room conduct.
Oh.
Like I guarantee, they're starting about banning rap music from the locker room. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's
They're
ridiculous.
taking the fun out of the game.
Yeah, really. Goodell, yeah, it's essentially like Brian Urlacher said a
trying
few
to
years ago.
control
They're trying to make
everything,
it the flag football league.
They're
It's
trying to
really
control everything.
they're. I mean, like safety should be a concern, but they're just going about it in the wrong way.
Dude, I don't think. See, that's where I agree. I tend to disagree with people. I think this is a good topic to pick up on. Is how this is a violent game. It's always been a violent game. I understand people are getting hurt, but that's what you signed up for. Like that's what you're playing for.
True.
You know what I mean? You get paid millions of dollars. You're gonna get hit. I understand that's the most common thing anybody ever says, but it's the most true. Like it's the most truth behind it is you're getting paid millions of dollars, and you know how fast paced to get. You know that the guy on the across from you is fucking the best of the best normally, and he's going to smash you in the fucking mouth.
There's a way to play where you don't get that injured.
Yeah, they need
to. There is no. I don't think there is, because if you hit them high, you're
not
going
to
give them a concussion. You hit them low, you're going to break their ankle.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, if you're not going for the helmet, you're not going too low. You're hitting chest. Yeah, it's going to hurt them, but they're not going to. It's not long term.
I can't believe they take this head to head. I understand the helmet to helmet. But like you can't hit anybody in the head. You can't touch the quarterback. If I were to come by you, if I was a defensive end and I were to graze your helmet with my hand, that's a 15-yard penalty. I'm like, I can't believe that. That is the most ridiculous thing. I can't stand it. That's what makes the game is the physicality in it, and they're taking it out. So it's gonna decline. They're gonna see it in their numbers, and hopefully they try and make the right decisions.
They're also oversaturating the shit out of football.
Oh yeah,
they absolutely
be on Thursday nights now.
I heard they're talking about like Friday nights. Saturdays.
No, there's a new one it's going to be Thursday every night, and then CBS just signed like a contract for 2 years.
I even heard rumors of making the Super Bowl like a series. Like
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous because the beauty of football is one and done. It's one and done, and it makes it. I mean, all playoff and all sports is intense, but football.
60 minutes.
Football is just 60 minutes. You grind it out, and whoever is left standing at the end moves on. And that's what makes it so exciting. Because if Seattle and San Francisco played a series, it would have been probably everyone would have died. There would have been a lot of casualties.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine if there was a game after the Sherman Crabtree incident, like immediately after the next weekend, that would have been awful. That would have been pretty awesome. It would have been brawls.
If I think about it, it would be awesome, but I don't think it's a good idea.
Getting back to like the injuring players and that crap, I think that they should implement the same thing that soccer has implemented, where if you make a hard play, you're out for the game. You're out for the next game too. No more fines and crap. These players make millions of dollars. What the hell does a fine do to them? And taking out the best wide receiver on the other team is going to have a major impact. So they implement like a card system, like the same thing that soccer has. You drill that guy illegally, you're out for the game and the next one.
Well, I mean, who determines what's legal and what isn't legal? Because if it's up to the NFL,
the referee.
No, I'm saying if it's up to the referee follows the NFL's rules. What I'm saying is the NFL's rules on that are going to be extremely general and extremely.
True.
I feel like what if there isn't a violent
instead of getting down on
big of a hit and they're getting kicked out of a game.
Instead of trying to debate the other stupid rules that they don't need to change, maybe they should get into this one, because fining a player for drilling someone in the head and taking him out for
that's a great point. No, I've never really thought of it that way.
I think that fining a player that makes $1 million. Look at Merriweather. Or some other players that take fines.
I think Merriweather just lost his entire salary.
They take fines. James Harrison. They don't give a shit anymore. It's money to them. Money is an object. It's barely anything.
Brandon Merriweather just doesn't give a shit.
No.
But if you take away the
because Brandon Merriweather has no ability, so he has to play dirty.
Yeah, I can't.
You need to penalize both teams.
Still in the NFL.
Somehow.
He's awful. When he left Chicago,
I understand what you're saying, but I don't.
Somehow, I don't know how they're going to do it.
I'm getting rid of player, like kicking them out of a game or suspending them out of a game or anything is gonna like help any situation ever.
They need to make clear lines on how to tackle each other.
And there is no clear lines because the game's so fast.
There's so much improv.
It's impossible, and that's why there's no combination of rules that will make it safe. So I feel like just let it be. You know what I mean? Quit trying to tinker with this and tinker with that. There's no combination of rules that is going to make everybody safe. This is a violent game. Everyone's going to get hurt at some point.
That's true. I mean, that's the inevitable truth. No matter how much you talk about safety, it's gonna injuries are gonna happen. There's gonna be plays with helmet contact. Yep. There's gonna be plays where someone gets a brutal knee injury, brutal Achilles injury. All this.
They're doing crazy.
Really, the number one thing they need basically. I mean, if they're gonna do anything, really, they just need to focus on how to treat injury. Basically, the best of their ability. I was just about
to get into that. They've been doing this crazy stuff with knee injuries. I think RG3 was actually the first person to do this, and they're using it a lot more. They're using stem cells to rebuild knees. Yeah. So they're coming back faster and stronger. Okay. I mean, they're doing.
Peterson.
Adrian Peterson. AP was miraculous.
I can't believe
they're doing all sorts of things. It's just.
I wish he would go to a different team. I wish he.
He's probably going to
as soon as his contract's up.
I don't know.
I don't know. He could very well stay with Minnesota.
He could. I mean, it depends. Mike Zimmer coming in there could do a lot of positive things, so we'll see. All right. That was a good discussion. All right. Since free agency has been going for about a month now, so now the dust has settled to an extent there really isn't that many big names left out there. So who do you think has been the best overall team? Who do you think has improved the most on the whole through free agency, and which team do you think has had the most losses during free agency?
I'm not just trying to be a homer here, but I think the Patriots had a pretty good free agency.
They did. They did.
They definitely addressed their needs.
No, definitely. No, I completely agree. I actually had the Pat. I would like to say that the Pats, but I also have another one that I feel like is in second place. But without a doubt, the Pats have done better than anybody else.
They did more than I thought that they would ever do.
I'm with you. Not far off from the Patriots. I think they're one of the best. I think the best though was Denver. I just think getting T.J. Ward, I think might have been the best individual move that in the entire all of free agency because their safety play last year was absolutely terrible. And T.J. Ward is one of the best safeties in the league. I don't think he is the absolute best, but he is the absolute best safety against the run in the NFL. And you get
he's like another linebacker.
Exactly. And Akib Talib had a great season last year at the Patriots. I know he wasn't quite as good in the second half.
I'm telling you.
But Denver also had problems with corners last year, and trust me, anything's an improvement over 55-year-old Champ Bailey at this point in time. He's out in New Orleans.
Chris, I would completely agree with you hands down. They overpaid for Talib, and they overpaid for DeMarcus Ware. If they didn't overpay for 3 out of the 4 players they signed, I would completely agree with you. But they are all in for this season, and that's not good.
I'll give you that. Honestly, I think Emmanuel's
the first player to come out and say it's a dream team is going to be
Talib. Talib is a big fucking mouth. He really does.
Also can barely enunciate
anything. It's true.
I don't think he has a grasp of the English language.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
Quietly, I feel like have had a really good. We were talking about him earlier. Is the Colts?
The Colts, absolutely.
They, like we said, they got DeSean Jackson. I really like him. They signed Akeem Nicks to a 1-year deal, which I think is the X factor there because if he can stay healthy, he was the number 1 receiver on that team before Victor Cruz.
Absolutely.
He was a really
receiver and have T.Y. Hilton stretch the field.
T.Y. Hilton stretch the field. You still have Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne coming back.
Reggie Wayne, who's I feel like his endless time is not going to matter because he is just
Kobe Fleener
and Dwayne Allen's coming back off an injury too. So they have a lot of weapons up in Indy. And Arthur Jones was great.
They re-signed Ahmad Bradshaw, and I like him.
Will help out Richardson.
Yeah. Well, which I still don't believe that. Poor Pep Hamilton. Pep Hamilton all of last season was just like I'm just not calling the right plays. Then Pep, how are the rest of your running backs averaging almost 5 yards a carry? Vic Ballard, Ahmad Bradshaw, Donald Brown. Donald Brown had the best year of his career last year.
I hope he does better, but
I don't want to talk about it. Fuck Trent Richardson.
I hope they signed Vontae Davis, who's a good corner.
They re-signed him. They got him.
Yep, they re-got him on the out. They got him.
Vontae Davis is an elite corner.
They need to get someone on the defensive line in the draft, and they need to get. I really feel like they need to get a running back in the draft. I don't think they're going to because they just spent a first-round pick on Trent Richardson.
Plus Vic Ballard. Vic Ballard wasn't bad a couple years ago.
Yeah, I know, but they need a legitimate running back. I feel like they need a legitimate running back.
I agree with you on that.
I don't think Vic Ballard can be their answer coming out of the backfield.
No, I'm with you on that.
They definitely needed someone on the defensive line, though, and they look really strong.
They got Arthur Jones. They picked up Arthur Jones from Baltimore, which was big, but they do need somebody else. They really don't. They really don't have another edge rusher besides Robert Mathis. They drafted.
He's still really good.
Yeah, they drafted Bjorn Warner last year. He did not play very well, but he was kind of a raw prospect coming out of Florida State.
Like right now?
They lost Antoine Bethea went to San Francisco. So
really? Wow.
Yeah, so I don't even know who they have.
That's definitely going to be a need, I think.
Well, they have LaRon Landry, but I don't know who the other safety is. They're probably going to go. They'll probably draft a guy like LaMarcus Joyner in the second round. I would say.
Yeah, they look good though.
All right, how about this? Who do you think has lost the most in free agency? I'm going to say right off the bat the Carolina Panthers. It pains me to say because I love the Carolina Panthers.
Receivers.
But when you lose your top 4 wide receivers, I understand Greg Olson's there, but when you cut Steve Smith for whatever reason. You lose Brandon LaFell, Ted Ginn, and Dominic Hickson all in free agency. Hickson didn't do much, but he's a good depth guy to have. Now you've replaced them with Jason Avant, Jericho Cotchery, and Tyquan Underwood. That is a gigantic shot.
I wonder if they're going into this draft being pretty well saturated.
There is
receivers.
Receivers and corners are very deep in this draft, and that's what they love. They let Captain. I don't know why they let Captain Munderland go. That's all fine and dandy, but Captain Munderland quietly had one of the best years of any corner in the league.
Yeah,
last year.
he definitely.
He
held that.
absolutely fantastic. Mike Zimmer sitting there up in Minnesota just laughing that he was able to get him.
Yeah.
And Carolina made no effort. And Mike Mitchell was a friggin' takeaway machine last year. He went to Pittsburgh. And Cam Newton.
He's probably has a towel on his head wherever he.
Yeah, he just had surgery.
Are both of those running backs off the books now?
No, they still have both of them. D'Angelo and Jonathan Stewart.
That's just so much money.
It is a ton of money. And Jonathan Stewart just has not been healthy for 2 seasons.
And he was terrible.
I'm assuming that they have a lot of money they can spend.
Carolina does not have that much. They don't have that much money because the one thing, at least they got Greg Hardy back. I will say that.
Do you think that they could pursue Chris Johnson?
No, they're not going to. They still have too much.
Yeah, they have too much money in that position now.
I mean, they're gonna go. Honestly, if I was Carolina right now in the draft, I would trade up and get Mike Evans or Sammy Watkins. That's personally what I would do if I was Carolina's GM.
And then I just go defense for the rest of the
Exactly. Rebuild the secondary. I mean, they signed, and then the signings have been pretty underwhelming. They signed Roman Harper and Thomas Deku. Deku, there's something still there, I think. I don't think he's a complete loss. Because Roman Harper, come on now. That's ridiculous.
I think the hands-down worst team in free agency so far has been the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
they lost their whole defense. Not even DeMarcus Ware, but Jason Hatcher was a huge part of that defense, and he left to I forget exactly.
Washington. Went to Washington.
Yeah, I like that signing by them, but he was a good player.
Sucked last
year. Yeah, they were out there, but they haven't done lost those players.
And the biggest signing that
they lost
Brandon
players that were part of a team that let up the most yards in team
history.
Yeah, no. So I mean, any other player you put in there is probably going to be better.
But they lost the best parts of their defense, which was DeMarcus. They lost their defensive line.
Compensate for the deficiencies.
Right, because of
you need to
the
make
secondary
changes
sucked anyways, but
you don't. You can't keep sticking with your old guys.
Right.
Like that's why they.
No, of course.
That's why they asked DeMarcus Ware to take a pay cut, and he was like, "No." It's like, "All right, see you later. Sorry."
No, I understand what you're saying.
But lately? They clearly didn't play that well last year. So
there are good players on bad teams all the time. You need to build around those players, not let them go. Is what I'm saying.
They're in their 30s.
Yeah, DeMarcus Ware is 30 years old.
Players in their 30s.
You build around DeMarcus Ware when he's 30.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
but I mean, he busted his ass last year.
He's the best player. He's like a top 3 defensive player in the league.
He was. No, I wouldn't say anymore.
Absolutely not.
Not anymore.
DeMarcus Ware?
He was excellent. I mean, I still think there's something left in the tank. I mean, I think there's still something.
I feel like he has 2.
He's not top 3 in the league defensive
player. No. I feel like he definitely is.
He's not even the best defensive end in the league.
No, I would. I mean, I'd say.
I feel like that is also extremely
top 15 now. He's still got something
I think he had a really good season last year, quietly, with a terrible
I disagree with that, but I don't think he's top 5 or top 10.
No.
But I think where if Denver uses him in a situational pass rushing role, which I think they will, I think he'll be in business. But otherwise, I don't know. He doesn't have the dirt. He's too old to be a 4-down defensive end anymore.
Really, you really think he's too old?
Yeah,
he was just a 4-down defensive end.
He's 32.
Yeah, but dude, we're in 2014, bro. Like 32.
But did you see? All right. Okay, I will throw
an injury-riddled season where he had the least amount of production in his career.
The
one of the worst defenses in NFL history.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will say,
dude, he's on the downswing.
I'm with Carson Rainier because, as a
Chicago
Chicago Bears fan, watching Julius Peppers deteriorate last year was sad, and he wasn't even hurt last season. He played, he was healthy the whole season, and what was the saddest part about that was how bad the rest of the Bears defense was, because he still led the team in sacks, and he was going at about 1/100th of his normal motor.
Yeah.
And I think Green Bay, that was the worst individual signing of all. I'm not just saying this, I hate the Packers, but they paid him way too much money. And I will welcome Jared Allen with open arms because he has something left in the tank. I'm hoping he doesn't pull a fucking Peppers this season. And
that's exactly
terrible.
What I think is going to.
I don't think so.
I personally think that DeMarcus Ware has a lot. It would never even cross my mind to think that he had any left in the tank. I feel like he's still very much elite. And I feel like if there was one person that was going to decline on that kind of defensive standpoint, I think it's definitely Jared Allen,
I
completely disagree.
I hope he doesn't. I like Jared Allen.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly on that, John.
I'm with you on that too. I think Allen hasn't been injured. Peppers really hadn't suffered any
injuries. Jared Allen is a sick bastard.
He is a sick bastard. That one arm sack he got on Eli Manning last year, he's 31 years old, he's still doing that. Plus, I think Chicago will not abuse him because they still, for whatever reason, they still have a lot of faith in Shea McClellan. I don't see that personally. I think he's absolutely awful. But Lamar Houston, I think, is a very promising piece for them as well. He's a very good run-stopping defensive end. His pass running could use some work, but he's a primarily a run-stopping defensive end, and I don't know. I think two teams that quietly had very good free agency periods were Tampa Bay and the Giants. The Giants.
I like the Giants.
They lost Linval Joseph.
They signed Mario Manningham and Rashad Jennings.
But they made Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Walter Thurmond. They got
Rodgers-Cromartie is a number 2 cornerback at best.
But they bolstered their depth. They got Robert Ayers on the Broncos, who was a good pass rusher to replace Justin Tuck.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. It's just I
mean, I will say Linval Joseph. I'll give you that. Losing
right.
Linval Joseph was very bad. I will say that. That's why I'm not quite putting them as the best. But Tampa Bay, I will say right now, my boy Lovie Smith has done some nice work down there, bringing in Michael Johnson, Alteron Werner. Alteron Werner scares the shit out of me. That dude just keeps getting substantially better. I am like the one-man fan club of Mike Glennon. I don't understand why this poor guy, who was the best rookie quarterback in the league, I think by a mile last season.
Nick
Foles was a second-year quarterback last year. So, God damn it. Clearly, Nick Foles was far better than Mike Glennon. They look alike. It's all right. It's fine. I love Nick Foles. I'm a big Nick Foles fan as well.
I think Nick Foles is a stud,
but... Anyways, back to Tampa Bay. Glennon, and I am, like I said, I am a Chicago Bears fan. I watched Josh McCown last season, and I'm very, very happy with what he contributed to the team last year.
Boy.
Do I think that he is this future quarterback for the Buccaneers? No.
You better fucking hope not.
And friggin' poor Mike Glennon. And people are still mocking fucking quarterbacks to them in the first round. I'm like, they just signed McCown. Lovie Smith had May Simmons goes, I want a veteran starting quarterback. Okay, sign Josh McCown. And they just drafted Mike Glennon last year.
Really serviceable.
If they don't get another,
Bobby Rainey,
if they don't get another quarterback,
Bobby Rainey, Doug Martin, Mike James, they got good running backs. I mean, this they also completely overhauled their offensive line, which I think was great because their line last year was part of the reason they were so terrible. Besides the fact Greg Schiano was a cancer and no one wanted to play for him, but they dumped the problems on their offensive line. They traded Jeremy Zuttah to the Ravens. They cut Davin Joseph and Donald Penn, who were responsible for the most hurries in the entire NFC. And third most sacks in the NFL overall. They were absolutely terrible.
One small comment as well is another secretly good team in free agency would definitely be if the Skins work out the way I think they're going to. I think they're going to have a top 5 offense this year if everyone. The
DeSean Jackson move really helped them out.
If they can get that worked out, they re-signed Santana Moss, who's going to be their 4th receiver.
I don't even know what they have a whole plethora of guys.
I'm just saying, and they signed
Henderson,
Andre Roberts, and they got, they signed Tracy Porter on the defensive end, Jason Hatcher.
Yeah.
So, they're definitely quietly making moves.
They made some solid moves.
They can get their things together.
You always have to remember Dan Snyder. That's
true. That's true. Dan Snyder is kind of an issue.
Not the most GM.
No, absolutely not.
By no means.
No. Washington is certainly going to be one of the more intriguing teams to watch last year because it really could go in any fucking direction. You really have absolutely no clue how it's going to play out there.
I think quietly as well, who's having a bad offseason is clearly the Eagles.
That was poor. No, well, Philly hasn't really done much.
I don't know what the hell Philly's even thinking of doing. I have absolutely no clue in the world. I have no idea.
Chip Kelly does.
Yeah, well,
I really like Chip Kelly. I think he is a virtuoso offensively. But here's the one move I thought was brilliant by Philly was Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles is the ideal Chip Kelly player. And it's funny because I have been a huge Darren Sproles detractor in the past. I hated him in New Orleans because he was a friggin' ball whore.
Yeah.
I mainly hated him because everyone drafted him in fantasy football really high. Top 10 running back. Bullshit. No. But Sproles is ideal for a Chip Kelly offense. Yeah. He's fast as hell. He's got great hands. Yeah. And that offense is a whirlwind. So you pair him with LaShawn McCoy, who is a bruiser. He's an absolute stud.
Yep.
Can do everything you want on the football field. So I think Sproles is going to be a really good thing a really impressive piece of their offense this year. I will say their secondary is still kind of a mess. They did cut Patrick Chung, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
But other than that,
we got our hands on him.
Woo! Watch out, he's gonna be a real big impact player. I was laughing hysterically at that.
The Chiefs done anything?
It's gonna be in a part-time.
The Chiefs have no money.
Yeah, you gotta believe it.
They lost half their.
I think exactly. I think
Carson's spot isn't guaranteed. If he doesn't
he's
play
gonna get cut.
well, he's gonna get cut.
He's gonna get cut. He won't make the team.
We have a lot of safeties.
Just like Adrian Wilson, right, John?
Yeah, no, I thought he was gonna get cut. I was just hoping he was gonna come back.
No,
I really
everyone.
wanted him
I got in a very heated argument with John a few days ago.
No, I wanted him to come back.
He said
I was
that he was going to
hoping
be a key piece of the secondary.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
There was no reason I would say that because I didn't
You
believe
did
like
say
that. That's not what I thought I would have.
Adrian Wilson was like the most overhyped signing in recent years for the Patriots.
He played like dog shit last preseason.
He was terrible in Arizona. It's like Adrian Wilson. If they signed Adrian Wilson in 2008, it would have been an incredible signing. But Adrian Wilson was absolutely abysmal.
Can we let Tavon Wilson play, please? Can we just let can Tavon Wilson play?
He's terrible. He's awful.
John,
Tavon Wilson is a terrible safety.
He hasn't even gotten a chance, dude.
He's gotten his chance because he sucks.
Because in practice, he's not showing them anything to show that
and he plays the same position. He can't play.
If there's any young safety,
John, Tavon Wilson is not going to be a safety starter in the NFL ever.
No, they're gonna start Dwayne Harmon. They're gonna start Dwayne Harmon if they start anyone at all. Duran Harmon, my bad. I thought it was okay. I'm sorry.
Duran Harmon has way more range. He's a more consistent tackler, and he's smarter. Tavon Wilson will never be a safety.
I didn't even get to see him play, and he can't play the.
If you were What
you were
a coach for the New England Patriots, you would see him.
Devin McCourty plays free safety.
All right, and that's what Tavon Austin plays. I think they tried to put him in strong safety, and he couldn't do it. No. So now he's the second. He's on. I looked at the depth chart, and he said it was
just stop. Devin McCourty's probably top 5 safety.
He is a top 5 safety.
Now. And you're going to tell me that you're going to move him to a
different position? No, I'm not telling. Did I say that I wanted to move him somewhere?
No, he said that Tavon Wilson
should be the free safety, but
he said Tavon Wilson
can't play the free safety. It's a completely different position. That's what I'm saying.
So then why isn't he playing the strong safety right
Because they have a better one.
Who?
Devin McCourty.
Is the free safety.
That's what he can't play the strong safety.
So strong safety is going to be Harmon is going to be the starter next year. Strong safety as of right now, unless they draft someone.
Tavon Wilson is going to be nothing more than
a special teams guy.
Contributor.
Exactly. Okay. That was it. That was a very heated debate. We're going to move on to our final.
It wasn't heated. It was
getting
shit on.
We love Tavon Wilson. Tavon Wilson is a top 5 safety. Move over Jarvis Berry. Move over Earl Thomas. Here comes Tavon Wilson. All right. Move over Devin McCourty, Eric Weddle. Matt Elam. I don't even get Matt Elam's not elite, but whatever. All right. So to end things, I want to hear
Brandon Merriweather.
You're very I lied. Brandon Merriweather is the best safety in the league, of course, followed by Chris Conte. So, what are your extremely premature Super Bowl 49 predictions? Who do you think is going to be taking home that Lombardi come February in Arizona?
Patriots.
Please further elaborate.
It's going to be Patriots-Niners. Blaine Gabbert's taking the Niners.
Gabbert, yeah, because
Kaepernick's going down with a sexual assault. Week 3. Gabbert's coming in.
He's leading charge. A little side note before I state my opinion who's going to win. When I saw the Niners traded for Gabbert, I was literally laughing. Shad Khan and everybody in the Jacksonville office was just high-fiving. Yeah. Just true. We got the Niners to take Gabbert.
If you think about it,
they wanted it.
If you think about it, the only person that could ever potentially salvage Blaine Gabbert's career would be Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
He salvaged Alex Smith's career.
It's because Gabbert didn't want to.
I'm not saying it's going to happen at all. I don't think it's going to.
It's because Gabbert criticized Shad Khan's mustache. That's why
Gabbert doesn't like fish and chips.
But if there was ever anyone with the ability to make Blaine Gabbert a starting NFL quarterback, it would be Jim Harbaugh.
It's very premature Super Bowl rating. I think
Kristen, you and say
hey, let John speak. I'm
not doing it right now. I'm just saying I think not sleeper, but someone who's like 2 or 3 moves away from being able to be that contender is the Kansas City Chiefs, because it's like nowadays you really have to have that. You really have to have a defense with everybody having a high-powered offense. And they did really well last year, so I think they're a few pieces. They haven't they literally have the same team as they did
basically,
last year.
They have no. Well, they lost 3/5 of their offensive line.
Then other than that,
they lost
haven't signed anybody either. So
they really haven't. They don't have the money.
Yeah.
Colts Hawks.
I'm just saying.
You think the Colts are going?
No. I liked Dontari Poe last year.
Dontari Poe was excellent.
I like that defense, and I think they're a few moves away.
They have a lot of pieces.
Jesus,
dude! Oh my God, he got clocked.
All right. Personally, I think Seattle's repeating.
He doesn't know where the fuck.
I think Seattle is going to be the first team since the.
Can't believe about the brawl.
And there's a good fight going. But I think Seattle is just too talented. They have no
Seattle's
flaws.
gonna win.
Percy Harvin coming back and being healthy, God forbid something happens this offseason, I think it's going to be a huge boost to that team. Re-signing Michael Bennett was
I think it
huge.
could be Patriots.
I don't know. I think the AFC representative this year will be. I think it's going to be the Patriots year. I think the Seahawks are still going to win, but I think the Patriots are going to win. I think the Patriots will win the AFC this year. I just don't see any AFC team, even the Patriots or the Broncos.
Like I may be a huge Patriots fan, but I still think Tom Brady gets one more before he retires.
Oh, yeah, no,
I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not gonna.
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, though. I mean,
neither would I. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Belichick won't go all in for anybody. I don't think so. He's always got his head somewhere in the future.
They're gonna relocate a team to LA. Belichick is gonna coach there and bring Brady there for his last year.
That's not good. No.
Wow.
That's a bold prediction.
That's
right
like
there.
prediction of the future.
Yeah,
like,
it's gonna be Bon Jovi because him and Belichick are buds.
Bon Jovi.
He's gonna move the Bills.
Move the Bills. Yeah, move the Bills to Los Angeles.
Take EJ Manuel to
yes.
Hollywood.
Wow, we really got off topic.
Yeah. But Seattle,
I don't know.
I think Seattle's got it.
I don't know about that. I like the Seattle Seahawks. So I like Russell Wilson. I hope they do well. I fucking hate Pete.
I can't stand the player either, but I really like the way they play. Probably because I just love strong defensive play.
I think it's
Seattle's
extremely
He's left
unfair.
every team that he's been a part of in shambles when he's left.
I just don't like how Sherman's a thug.
Yeah, Sherman's a thug, all right.
He's the
Total
giant Giant thug. Definitely not the best corner in the NFL.
He loves attention, though.
But here's the thing with Sherman. If you don't say a word to him, he will not talk back to you. It's only when you get in his face, and he'll run his mouth all day.
Yeah, but then that's just ignorant. Like, you don't get
I think the time has come.
Yeah, I definitely think
Fuddruckers
is coming. Well, let Donald speak his mind.
I did. I said Patriots Hawks.
Patriots Hawks. Okay, so
Patriots 17.
I'm gonna go
Hawks 21.
Seahawks. I'm gonna have a legitimate one, I guess. I feel like it's either gonna be the Patriots or the Broncos. I'm gonna say the Patriots because I'm a fanboy. Not a fanboy, but I'm a fan. But
it's gonna be Montreal Alouettes.
I feel like it's a fucking throw up in the West. Anybody can do it, so.
And then watch it just be because this year was the first year in a long time where things have gone like according to plan per se, where two powerhouses actually made the Super Bowl and a powerhouse team won. So watch it be some random team that comes out of the blue. Like watch Houston win this year.
And
watch San Diego. I don't know, some random team. We'll see.
It, dude.
All right, that is the best part. That is the best part about football. Faux show. All right, well,
if anyone is even like watching this.
Anyone listening to this,
you want to tell them where we'll be back, what our schedule is going to be?
All right, well, before the regular season, we're just going to do this once a month, but
it's a week.
During the regular season, we're going to be doing it once a week, but for now, once a month before the season starts, because there really isn't that much to talk about. But the next episode will be NFL draft all day. We're going to be doing a full mock here. Everyone will state their opinions about how amazing Jadeveon Clowney is.
We'll be joined by our fifth guest.
Yes.
Yeah, Booby Miles will be here.
Booby Miles is going to be on the program. Yeah, Markevius Mingo is going to call in. It's going to be crazy.
Oh yeah, this is going to get really wild.
Absolutely. So anybody who listens to this, I appreciate it. And Football Anonymous, tell your friends.